One thing that has happened is that there isn't that much sport on at the moment, but there is darts tonight. I think it's the Premier League for live from Cardiff. Gerwyn Price, obviously, is one of Wales' current superstars. Eoin got the opportunity to sit down with him. Have a look.
Okay, delighted to say we are here in the middle of Cardiff ahead of the beginning of the Premier League darts this week. Gerwyn Price, as you can see, is with me. First of all, Gerwyn, how big a week is this in your calendar, the homecoming, playing in front of the home crowd here in Cardiff?
Yeah, obviously a big occasion. Every game in the Premier League, but first one off in Cardiff, you want to get off to a good start. So yeah, hopefully I can get this one get it under the belt and the pressure's off as well. But it's nice just to be back playing in the Premier League. I've been missed out on it last year, so yeah, I'm looking forward to it, and obviously in front of the Welsh crowd tomorrow.
What is the Welsh crowd like at a darts event?
It's a little bit better than everywhere else for me anyway. No, it's not the biggest venue, but it's the best atmosphere, and yeah, especially being Welsh and playing in Cardiff, I always get a good welcome, and yeah, the atmosphere is going to be buzzing tomorrow. What's
the biggest difference then, do you think, between the crowd and the reception you get in Wales as opposed to, say, Alexandra Palace?
Well, obviously it's Wales and I'm Welsh, so obviously they're going to support me a lot more here. So yeah, I'm just looking forward to that. But as far as every other venue, yeah, I just hope for the best and see what the people are like at the like Liverpool and Belfast in 3 weeks. So yeah, let's see how those venues go as well.
Yeah. Do you think there's just like a changing now at the moment towards people supporting you and actually getting into the idea that, darts players should be showing personality, they should be showing energy up on stage? Have you felt that at all? Because maybe Alexandra Palace, from a spectator's point of view, was a little bit disappointing, if I say so myself, from what the crowd were saying to you and their own reaction.
Yeah, but it's not just me, but I think it was whoever was playing somebody English, which is a bit disappointing, really. Yeah, it does put a dampener on the event, and especially for the players that are involved. But we can only do what we can do as professionals, and us do our best up on stage and just throw some darts, and yeah, that's all I'm here to do.
It is a massive week for Welsh sport in general. Six Nations obviously starting on Saturday. Are you a rugby fan? Do you support the team? Do you follow it closely these days?
Not so much any club teams, but every time Wales is playing, obviously Wales Ireland this weekend, a big game, a tough game out in Ireland. So yeah, I always watch international teams, and yeah, wish all those boys well, and hopefully they can actually turn over the Irish. You don't want that, but I want that.
Do you think they will?
It's going to be tough. I mean, they're not probably in a good position as it was maybe 2-3 years ago. But yeah, it's going to be tough, but they can do it if they put their minds to it, and I'm sure they'll go out there and give it 100%.
It's really interesting. You've obviously spoken tons of times about your rugby past, but I'm really interested specifically in the art of being a hooker before coming into the game of darts. Is it reading into it too much to say that there are certain similarities, because it is the one position in rugby where it's repetition with the line-out throws?
Yeah, obviously it's hand-eye coordination and obviously timing and things like that, but yeah, there's probably some similarities for when I'm throwing a ball into the line-out, but apart from that, no, everything else is just physical and technical. It can be technical in scrums, you can be technical in the way you're throwing darts, but I tend to not overthink things when I'm throwing and just be as natural as possible. But if you're playing rugby and you're in the front row, then things can get a bit technical and you need to work on things like that.
That's interesting. So you would have had a coach saying move your legs into your right.
Obviously, yeah. When you're in the front row, you got to either have your legs back, you get your body position right, and it's similar to darts, but with darts it just comes naturally, and in rugby you're sort of coached into certain ways to play.
That's because, I guess, given your arrival on the scene a relatively short time ago, you kind of had to be a natural, didn't you, at darts? You didn't necessarily have somebody breaking down, say, your scrum position as you would have done in rugby, for example.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, in rugby you get coached, and sometimes you're made to perform as robots. You're in a certain place at a certain time, and on the dartboard you just go up, do your own thing. And yeah, I came into this sport with no background in darts whatsoever, and I think that worked out best for me. If I started playing darts at a younger age, you're probably overthinking, add coaching. And I just think for anybody who's out there who's never probably played darts before, looking to go into the sport, just be yourself. Don't look too deep into technical things, and just do what comes natural to you.
It's pretty obvious why you don't play rugby anymore, because the darts thing didn't go too badly for you. But I'm interested in what happened before that, in terms of getting to Glasgow in particular. Why didn't you get picked up sooner by a professional team? Why did it happen at that stage?
I wish I knew that answer. You know, I've not got a clue. I left Neath when I was 19 and went down I left Cross Keys rather, went down to Neath when I was 19, sort of with the hopes to become a professional with the Ospreys in time, and that never really panned out, so ended up going back to Cross Keys. But it's just things you just got to be in the right place at the right time, I think, and probably, yeah, like I said, it's a hard question to answer because I'm not sure of the answer really.
Sure. It was Gregor Townsend that signed you for Glasgow Warriors, right?
Yeah, I never really signed for him. I was still playing for Cross Keys, and Glasgow lost two of their hookers, I think, when they were going into the Six Nations, so they needed someone on backup, and I just went up there for, a 2-3 month spell while the boys were playing for their country, playing for Scotland, and yeah, it was a good time while I was there, but there was obviously another hooker still in front of me, and I never really got an opportunity to play as much time as I wanted, but it's just, like I said, you just need that break now and again.
So did you get much time with the squad? Like, did you play? How many games did you play within that season?
Yeah, when I got up there, we played in a trial game against one of the county sides, which I played in. I played hooker and back row, I think, in that game. Then I actually started the first game then against Zebra. I had a decent game, and I came on as a sub against the Gwent Dragons, which was nice to turn over a Welsh team by a considerable margin as well, which was good. But yeah, I never really had much time after that, and obviously I think one or two other boys were coming back from injury, which they didn't think was going to come back so quick, and I just didn't get enough time to showcase what I was all about, really.
Did you get much time with Finn Russell in that dressing room?
I think he was there while I was there. Yeah, it was a few of the boys. I'm not sure of all of their names, but yeah, Finn Russell was still there, and obviously but I think most of the Scottish team are from South Africa or England. I don't think most of them are Scottish, like.
It's probably a bit of truth in that, for sure. But when you look back now at the game, because there's like quite a lot of talk of hookers getting bad injuries and changing the scrum to stop like the force of impact on your upper body and stuff. Obviously, darts was never going to not be your career, but you're kind of happy that you're not in rugby for the long haul, or that you weren't in rugby for the long haul, given the attrition of the game.
No, that was the main part. I played the main reason I played the game. I used to love being physical. I used to love the ball in hand, and you just carry the ball hard. And I used to love going into contact. And I used to love when people used to run into me and those big collisions. And the same in the scrum. It did sort of get more technical, the scrimmage, as I was coming towards the end of my career. I'm sure I would have adapted it had I stayed on and kept playing, but yeah, no, the physical part of the game is why people play.
Well, was there ever any decision in your head then in terms of like keeping the physicality of say staying fit yourself? Was there ever any question about not keeping that up after you left rugby? Because I know you've said in interviews in the past that it's a game of endurance, especially at the World Championships.
Yeah, but you don't have to be physically fit, you just have to be mentally fit, I think, and you need to have some sort of endurance, but nothing compared to if you're going to be playing rugby. So it's just, for me, it was just ticking over, trying to keep my body in shape, and less weights, just more conditioning. And yeah, I've sort of slipped off track a little bit the last year or two since I snapped my Achilles, but that's sort of healed up pretty nice now. So back in the gym and doing what I should have been doing over the last 2 years, but with the injury, it just sort of put me off track.
What is that mental fatigue like when you get into the white heat of a championship battle and you are starting to get grinded down by the games?
To be honest, I don't think I've felt like I've been in one of those situations, because obviously I prefer the longer games, I prefer the longer formats, so I think my endurance during the games is there, so yeah, I'm fine with those situations.
Just one last thing then, Gerwyn. I've seen that you've set up obviously a darts academy in Wales. How important is it to give back and to try and encourage more people to pick up the game from your perspective? Yeah,
obviously I've had a lot out of the sport in such a short period of time, so I appreciate what I've got, and it's nice to give something back and opportunities to young kids, which I never had probably when I was younger, in the darting world. But yeah, I mean, it was brilliant to become a world champion and pick up majors, but for somebody to come out of that academy and to go on and to probably replicate what I've done, they probably mean a little bit more.
Yeah, because you are the first Welsh world champion, or the first Welsh in a lot of different categories. How much have you seen the impact of that in terms of, I don't know, people coming up to you in the street and saying that you've inspired another generation? Is that a thing after your achievements over the last couple of years?
Yeah, but obviously I'm getting recognised a lot more around the streets, so obviously I'm being talked to a lot more, and everybody seems to be, who I speak to, fanatics on the darts. So not just myself, but Johnny and the rest of the Welsh boys are obviously promoting the sport well in Wales and making, like you said, the younger generation want to pick up darts and follow in our footsteps.
Final prediction then for Saturday. I know obviously you're going to do the business on Thursday, so final prediction for Saturday, Ireland against Wales.
I think it's going to be a tough game. I think Wales could win it, but I think Ireland will probably turn them over out there. It's going to be a tough game for them.
You're a realist rather than an optimist.
Yes, I think with my head rather than my heart this time.
Gerwyn, thanks a million for your time and good luck this week.
Thanks.
Jesus, on they're lulling you into a false sense of security over there. We'll barely keep it kicked out to you.
The Welsh people are better at yerraing than Kerry people, and that is I guess that I just realised over the last couple of days, as a county, Kerry has lost their grip on the art of the era and have moved down to second place against Wales, and this is quite a heartbreaking moment, I'm not going to lie.
It's going to be an important realisation for you, though. You'll go back, the WhatsApp Kerry Mafia group will be full of this talk. We need to redouble our efforts here. Get Clifford out of the team. Rest him for the game against Dublin. Let the Dubs come in and roll through us. That's exactly what you want. Give them this false sense of security that all is well in the world. That's what I would be doing. Right, we do have a brilliant prize for you here on OTB AM this morning. We're giving away a pair of tickets to Ireland against Wales in the Aviva on Saturday. We'll have another pair to give away tomorrow as well. It's all thanks to Aldi, official fresh food partner to Irish Rugby, who have launched Play With Your Food with the IRFU this week. New research shows that over 40% of Irish kids don't eat fruit and veg every day. Aldi are encouraging kids to think differently about how they consume fruit and veg. They can create food art in a fun and meaningful way that gets the whole family involved. To enter, to be given the chance to win, all you got to do is tell us who our mystery voice is.
They were providing lunch for us, and lunch was a white roll with ham, cheese and coleslaw.
I mean, it's a treat day. You can tweet us your answer, you can comment on the YouTube live stream, or you can WhatsApp OTB at 0879 180 180. Oh, and you've been the hardest working man in showbiz. You've done more work for us. What have we got next?
Yeah, well, more work continues over the next little while today, and I will join you again tomorrow morning with more great stuff here from Wales. But there was also just one more bit from yesterday, because as Gerwyn Price mentioned in his piece, he's not the only Welshman in Premier League darts. The reigning champion is Jonny Clayton, who is also a Welshman, who is also a former rugby player. Maybe not signed at a professional level, but he is Welsh, therefore he has played rugby at one point or another. So I also got the opportunity to sit down with Jonny Clayton yesterday.
We are here with Jonny Clayton, who has just survived an attack from a wild dart. What happened?
Yeah, I just stabbed myself in the arm with a dart somehow, but never mind, all fixed now, ready to go.
Is darts a dangerous game?
Obviously, I've just stabbed myself in the arm. No, listen, I do some silly things and I've just caught myself, so it's all dead.
Life must be pretty good at the moment. I mean, it was an excellent 2021, obviously. I mean, World Championships probably didn't end how you would have liked, but people at home, speaking from experience, got an unbelievable kick out of your journey through that Championships. With a bit of time to heal the emotional scars from that, do you feel that was kind of like a World Championship that did stand you in good stead?
To be honest, listen, obviously disappointed that I'd lost, but in that match against Michael Smith, I think it had everything. There wasn't much more in the tank that I could have done. And to be fair, I think, one player had to lose that game, and unfortunately it was me, but I got loads of positives out of it. So, I'm just looking forward to this year now and hope for the best.
And no better place to start. This Welsh crowd, how much do they add to your game, or how much energy do they give you when you're playing here in front of your home fans?
Yeah, fantastic. I've got a lot of friends through darts in Wales, obviously. I do find the Welsh crowd one of the best sporting crowds in the world. So hopefully playing home on my first full, Premier League, which we travel around, it's going to be fantastic. I cannot wait till tomorrow night.
It's one hell of a week in Welsh sport, between that and obviously the Six Nations beginning on Saturday. We were just chatting to Gerwyn a moment ago about it. Is it something that you pay close attention to at all? I suppose as a Welshman there is no reason why you wouldn't pay close attention to the rugby.
Yeah, I love my rugby, my international rugby especially, but we've got Ireland away, so well, I can't see us winning that, to be honest. I think the Irish are going to be just that little too strong at their home ground, so yeah, cross fingers, hopefully Wales do something special and nick it off the Irish.
Yeah, it wouldn't be an unfamiliar feeling, I dare say, if they were to do so.
No, it's true enough, but listen, sport, you can never plan too far ahead. You know, you play what's in front, the same as darts. So, you know, cross fingers is going to be a red win tomorrow.
Can you tell us a little bit about your own rugby playing days?
Yeah, I played lower divisions, but thoroughly enjoyed it. I played 16 years for my village club, and you know, a few injuries through it, but rugby was everything to me. I often get the question, would I have started darts before I actually did? And the answer to that is no. I loved my rugby. You know, it's every Welshman's dream to play for your country in rugby, but obviously I wasn't big enough, I wasn't good enough, so I tried darts, and I got my honours through darts. So yeah, in the end I got there.
Am I right in saying you played out half?
No, scrum half.
Sorry.
Yeah, scrum half.
Surely you weren't too small to play scrum half.
Yeah. Listen, I don't think I was 9 stone soaking wet. So yeah, the diet has changed since them days. So no, I was tiny, but you know, I was good enough for my village, and yeah, it made me proud.
What I think people really get from watching darts is this sense of a commonality between them as viewers and the players, people who have worked ordinary jobs and are making it as darts players. I get the sense that there is something similar about that when it comes to rugby, that it is quite a working class game in terms of certain areas of Wales as opposed to some of the other countries around Europe.
Yeah, I think so. Do you know what I mean? The saying is work hard, play hard, and you know, it's like, personally, it was on a Saturday for me, it was like the biggest day of the week. You know, you played a game of rugby, which was my favourite sport, and all your friends are with you, so you know, you'd catch up on the weeks, whatever you've done in the week, and you know, you played rugby, so you know, the banter, the enjoyment afterwards, it was all on a Saturday, and you know, that's a big thing in my view, because it brings people together.
It really is a central part of society in this country, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. You know, like Wales is a massive sport nation, you know, rugby especially. So, you know, me and Gezi are bringing darts through as well now, so that's fantastic. And, you know, yeah, it's a big thing. I generally think sport is a massive, massive part of life.
Yeah, and a hugely positive one if channeled in the right way.
Oh, yeah, definitely. It's like, you know, you make a lot of friends. Obviously, you make a lot of enemies when you play on stage or on the field. But, you know, my personal point of view is that's where, you know, you work hard on the Saturday. That's where I met all my friends, enjoyed good times, and it's a big part of life.
Jonny Clayton in conversation with our own Eoin Sheehan. He'll speak with Eddie Butler, the voice of rugby, a little bit later on, and also it turns out a prominent voice for Welsh nationalism too, so we'll be talking about that on tomorrow's show. At 8:36 though, John Duggan is with us. John, good morning to you.